Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, the great millstone who rule. Peace, love, and salutations to all Yakim on the highways and byways that's co-laboring with us, alright, helping us know this gospel abroad that it may reach into the ears of the elect. Okay? So, Lord willing, through the Spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, this is edifying. I'm going to go into the first book of Maccabees, and where I left off at is where Mattathias, he slew that nigga that was trying to sacrifice, profane the altar, and he also slayed that Edomite overseer, which was a commissioner, and he put his ass to death. Okay, so I'm gonna start at 64. Wherefore, ye my sons, be violent and show yourselves men, right, in the behalf of the law, for by it ye shall obtain glory. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you. As for Judas Maccabees, he had been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people. Take also unto you those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people. Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandments of the law. Now this is what you tell your children. You know, this is how a man, alright, conducts his family on his way out. He said, look, this son right here, alright, you're wives, alright, you're mature, so to speak. You know, you'll be a father unto them, you know. And you, this son, you know, you're a warrior at spirit, a warrior at heart since your youth. Alright, you be the captain. You know, this is important stuff that we gotta know. Okay? So he blessed them, and it was gathered he blessed them and was gathered to his fathers. And he died in 146 year, and his son buried him in the sepulchre of his fathers at Modian, and all Israel made a great lamentation for him. Verse 3. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead, and all his brethren helped him. And so did all they that held with his father, and they fought with cheerfulness in the battle of Israel. So he gat his people great honor, and put on a breastplate as a giant, and girt his warlike harness about him, and made battles, protecting the host with the sword. In his acts he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp warring for his prey. For he pursued the wicked, and sought them out, and burned up those that vexed his people. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand. He grieved also many kings, and made Jacob glad with his acts, and his memorial is blessed forever. Moreover, he went through the cities of Judea, destroying the ungodly men out of them, and turning away the wrath from Israel, so that he was renowned unto the outmost parts of the earth. He was renowned unto the outmost parts of the earth, and he received unto him such as was ready to perish. Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together in a great host out of Samaria to fight against Israel. And here these heathens go again, uniting together, alright, to come up against the nation of Israel. Because at this time, right, we were warriors, man. We were warriors, and we were tough to deal with. Alright, our athleticism, our strength, right, our zeal, our faith. And you see that right now in any type of arena where obviously, you know, sports and stuff where physical attributes come into play. Jake dominates. Us together as a unit, you know, these heathens got to come up against us, like Psalms the 83rd chapter. All right. So here these heathens doing what they do best, tag teaming Jake, coming up against Israel. All right, making pacts and decrees together. All right, just to fight us. You had men in Israel these kings were going bankrupt. They were going bankrupt just to bring smoke to Israel. They would risk their lives, let me run into this temple, invade this country, to get treasuries, to get money, to get an army, just so they could fight up against Israel. Because if you take down Israel, you're the top dog, you're the man. So it says, which thing when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him, and so he smote him and slew him. Many also fell down slain, but the rest fled. Wherefore Judas took their spoils, and Apollos' sword also, and therewith the king all his life long. Now when Sauron, the prince of the army of Syria, heard say that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and company of a faithful to go out with him to war, he said, I will make a name and honor in the kingdom, for I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him, who despise the king's commandments. Now these are bootlicks. These are ass kisses, that men that want to make a name for themselves, they want to kiss the king's ass so bad that they willing to go risk their lives. Look, we're gonna go fight up against the Israelites, because if we could conquer the Israelites, if we could conquer them, we could win wars with them. We'll be we'll be looked at as, we'll be put on a pedestal. All right. This is the history that Esau, spends a lot of money and goes out of his wits to hide from our people. And again, these are stories you tell your little children, and your children would tell their children. All right, and generations on down, these stories will be remembered to our nation. He said, I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him, who despise the king's commandments. So he made him ready to go up, and then went out a mighty host of ungodly to help him, a bunch of damn heathens, and to be avenged of the children of Israel. And when they came near to the going up to Beth Horon, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company, who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against a great multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day? Man, that's heavy, man. Because you know how it is when you fast, you just don't got that natural energy. You don't got that natural energy, and you're outnumbered, and you're out skilled. Right? So he said, look, they was like, look, we can't go fight. We can't fight against these people. Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And what with the power of heaven, it is alone to be delivered a great multitude. Let me read that again. It says, verse 18, unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And with the power of heaven, it is all one to deliver with a great multitude or a small company. For the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but the strength coming from heaven. They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us, our wives and our children, and to spoil us. But we fight for our lives and our law. Wherefore the Lord made himself wherefore the Lord himself will overthrow them before your face. And as for you, be ye not afraid of them. Now, as soon as he had left off from speaking, he leapt suddenly upon them, and so sharing and his host was overthrown before him, and they pursued them from the going down of Beth Horon unto the plain, wherein he slain about 800 men of them, and the residue fled into the land of the Philistines. Then began the fear of Judas and his brethren, and an exceeding great dread to fall upon nations round about them, and so much as his fame came unto the king. And the nations talked of the battles of Judas. Now when King Antiochus heard these things, he was full of indignation, wherefore he had gathered together all the forces of his realm, even a very strong army. He opened up also his treasure, and gave his soldiers pay for a year, commanded them to be ready whensoever he should need them. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine, you getting paid a whole year's salary, just to be ready for when the king needs you. This to goes to show you the hatred that Esau, Edom, and these Edomites have, for our people, right? They were just hell bent on, on destroying the nation of Israel. And these stories, they speak for themselves, man. He opened up his treasures and gave his soldiers pay for a year, commanded them to be ready whenever so he should need them. Nevertheless, when he saw that the money of his treasury failed, and that the tributes in the countries were small, because of the dissension and plague which he had brought upon the land, and taken away the laws which they had been of old time, he feared that he should not be able to bear the charge any longer, nor to have such gifts to give so liberty as he did before. For he had abundance above the king, he abounded above the king that they were before him. Wherefore, being greatly perplexed in his mind, and determined to go into Persia, there to take the tributes of the countries, and to gather much money. So he left Lysis, a nobleman, and one of the blood royal, to oversee the affairs of the king of the river Euphrates unto the border of Egypt, and to bring back his son Antiochus until he came again. Moreover, he delivered unto him the half of his forces and the elephants, and gave him charge over all things we he have done. Also concerning them that dwelt in Judea and Jerusalem, to wit, that they should send an army against them to destroy the root out of the strength of Israel, and the remnant of Jerusalem, to take away their memorial from that place, and that he should place strangers in all quarters, and divide their land by lot, so that the king took half of the forces that remained and departed from Antioch, his royal city, 147th year, and having passed the rivers of Euphrates, he went through the high countries. Alright, so it goes to show you that these devils, and going back to Psalms 83rd chapter, right, with all these nations, they consulted together. They said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation." Right, and who's the only nation? Who's the only nation of people that's really cut off from being a nation? All right, you so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics. This is what they done. All right, they said, going back, they said, raise it, even to the foundations thereof. Let me get Psalms real quick. Psalms chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and have consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, that they are confederates. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and Ishmael and Moab and the Hagarenes. So starting off, when they after they named these nations, who was number one on that list? Esau, Edom was number one, and then who's number two on that list? All right, these Ishmaelites. All right, and when you go into the transatlantic slave trade, who was the main partners in that? All right, Ishmael and Edom, the so-called white man, and the Arabian man. All right, Ishmael and Edom, and though they all have differences, all these other nations, they had beef and spoils, and you know, different political climaxes amongst amongst themselves. They can all agree on one thing, and that what they can agree on was we need to make sure that these people are discontinued from their heritage. You know, if anybody wants to rule, nobody will be able to rule because of these people and their power, their God, the God of the power of the earth, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, the power of the power that made the heavens, backs them, and if he backs them and he's with them, and they're following the law, statutes, and commandments, nobody could come up against us. All right. Last scripture, Psalms 137, verse 7. Remember Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even from the foundation thereof. Right? And raise what, man? Raise us up, root them up out of the land, kick them out of the land, right? Stop them from worshiping their power, and altogether stop them from knowing who they are. That's why it's important, again, to know who we are. Alright, so with that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, the great millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. You know, just a quick story out of the book of Maccabees, because that time and that spirit is coming back. That brothers got to be on it ready. Alright, be on it ready. So with that, I want to say shalom.